Hey, what is up guys? Today we're checking out every available Klon Centaur clone at Thomann to see if there really is a difference. Hello everybody, my name is Guillaume, this is Thomann's Guitars and Basses, and welcome to today's video, which is long overdue. We've been meaning to make that video for a very long time, either Chris or I, basically since he made one of the first big videos on the channel really, which was a massive Tube Screamer comparison. Now the mechanics of that are going to be slightly different, and the test subject is obviously going to be slightly different as well. Today we're checking out the mythical, the fabled, most expensive and probably legendary guitar pedal of all time, which is a Klon Centaur. For the sake of this comparison, I'd like to tell you that I won the lottery and I have an original one. I don't. But I went through the Thomann website, checked every single clone or /clone inspired pedal, and I've got them here. I've got them here in this room, got some on that case, got some on the floor, and I think it's a pretty good time to do that because prices for the original are skyrocketing above 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8,000 for a golden Halsey, which, you know, if you can and if you think it's worth it, go for it by all means. But there are a lot of more affordable options, and we're going to look at those today, including some very new ones that just came out recently. I'm going to go through all the pedals one by one. I'm going to be playing you guys a little bit of the pedal in isolation, so just that. I'm running the PRS Silver Sky into the Rev D20, super duper extra clean, and the Harley Benton cab with Celestion Cream Back 75 speakers. So just for reference, this is going to be my bass tone. This is what I'm going to put the clones to. All right, so that's going to be my bass tone, and that's what I'm going to put the pedals into. I'll do a first round where I'm just going to be playing the clones into that sound. I'm going to be using the same settings on all the pedals, which are my preference, the settings that I would use on a clone type circuit, which is going to be gain just before 12, I'd say like 11. And then just above 12 for both treble and output. So we're looking at, you know, just 1 o'clock type of situation. And in the second round, I'll be using the Klon in probably its most use case scenario, and that's going to be boosting into either an overdrive or a cranked amplifier. And for that, I'm going to be using the Southland by Greer amps, and same into the Rev D20 super clean. And just as I did with the clean tone, this is going to be my reference sound for the overdrive stack portion of the comparison. Let's get started with our first contender today, which is the brand new, actually, Warm Audio Centavo. Brand new at the time of filming, obviously. This pedal came out very recently. It is, in my opinion, one of the best clone that I've ever heard. I really, really like it. That being said, there's some pretty serious contestants on that list today. And in terms of price, this one is going to be sitting on the slightly more expensive side of things. Again, nothing crazy. Like, we don't have any like 300+ euro pedal on the bench today. This is really just, I'd say, accessible, if not affordable. We're going to have some very, very affordable units in there. But let's start with that one. First, the pedal alone, and second, boosting into another overdrive. And that takes us to the second pedal on our list today, which is the Archer, the Silver Archer by J.Rockett, which is probably the most popular, the most well-known at this point clone on the market. This is the one that found its spot on pedal boards of players like Jeff Beck, like John Mayer, Jeff Beck with obviously a signature version of the same pedal, to replace actual Klon Centaurs for people who have Klon Centaurs, but that's how good those are. All right, and on to our pedal number 3, which is very similar to our pedal number 2, and that's going to be the Archer Ikon. The original Archer was designed after a silver non-horsey Klon Centaur. As far as I'm aware, it might have been a silver horsey. I've had different takes on it, but anyways, that pedal was very famous for being declined in silver non-horsey, silver horsey, and then gold non-horsey, gold horsey. Essentially, just the enclosure was changing. As far as I'm aware, people have claimed there were different diodes used in the process or whatnot. So J.Rockett made a Ikon version of their Archer pedal, which is a golden enclosure. In terms of signal, in terms of components used, a lot of people have been saying that the Ikon has a little bit more gain than the Archer within the same position. So again, done my best to put it in the exact same position as what I'm going to use all the other clones with. And let's hear it. Let's see if there actually is a difference. Next on our list is one of the newer additions to the Klon clone family, and that's going to be the PRS Horsemeat. On top of having a very good name, that pedal does more than what the typical Klon clone is going to offer. It has extensive EQ controls, and according to Paul himself, here on the channel actually, Chris made a video with him. If you want to go check it out, do it. He explains kind of what the thought process was behind the Horsemeat. And that was not only to just make a Klon replica, it was to take the idea of the Klon Centaur and to improve on it. In terms of control, I've been trying to do something similar. That means keeping the gain slightly under 12 o'clock and both the EQ section as well as the volume just a little bit above 12. Let's see how that changes from an actual copy of the Klon circuit and what changes with the Horsemeat. All right, so as much as the difference between the first three was subtle, to some probably debatable as well, there's an obvious difference there, at least to me. There's a lot of low end, which I know was an intention because the Klon tends to lose some of that when you add gain. It was also a lot louder and a lot gainier than the other clones so far. So definitely it's its own circuit. I can see why, like where the inspiration comes from, but that's very much its own thing as far as I'm concerned. On to the next one. And that pedal is no other than the Oxblood by Keeley Electronics. Now, kind of in the same vein as what PRS did with the Horsemeat, the Oxblood was meant to be a modified Klon circuit. Very much inspired by that hard clipping, high headroom sort of pedal, but with a little bit more tweaks available with the clipping and the fat switches, which are going to allow you to go from more gain to more gain and to already kind of extensive frequency response to all the frequencies, basically. So in that respect, I put it more in the same vein as what PRS did with the Horsemeat, but that's only on paper. Let's hear the pedal with the same settings to see the kind of take on the circuit we have. Our next pedal is going to be the famous Soulfood by Electro-Harmonix. It was one of the first very affordable takes on that legendary circuit. It's been extremely popular since, because in that price bracket for a long time it was the only clone available, really. So put it in the exact same settings. Let's see how it compares to our more expensive previous options. And next on our list is another affordable take on the clone circuit, and that's the NUX and NUX. I've heard many different pronunciations of their name, but that's their take on it, called the Horseman. It is our first mini pedal for the day. That's going to be a trend by the end of that video, but it is extremely affordable. It became very popular very soon as well, because they kind of stayed true to the aesthetic as well of the enclosure while making it a lot more pedalboard friendly. But let's see how it stacks up sound wise. And we keep on keeping on with our mini pedals, and that is the Bad Horsey by Tone City. Came out about the same time, I think, as the NUX NUX came out. Same trend. Let's see if it's actually the same pedal as well. And here's to our last of our mini pedals for the day. This is the MXR Sugar Drive. Now this one has been often at least mistaken for just its own drive, but it's very much also a tribute to the Klon circuit. Not a one-to-one reproduction. I think that was not the intention behind that, but very, very similar in terms of conception. So let's hear how different it is from the others exactly. And just like that, we exit the super mini category to the regular mini category. And that is the Zeus by TC Electronic. It was brought a couple of years back, part of their new range of like smaller pedals. And this is very clearly a full tribute to the Klon circuits. Let's see how close they got to it. Alright, and just like this, we're onto our final pedal for today, which is the Wampler Tumnus Deluxe. Now, that was a conscious decision. We could have gone for the Tumnus Mini or regular Tumnus, but it's Mini. This is also a final pedal for today because that's all the pedals that we had in stock. There's a couple others that I wanted to mention, the Way Huge Conspiracy Theory, the Joy Thomann, that are currently not in stock at the time of filming, but that might be later on. So check out the link in the description if you want more info. That pedal is a staple. It is one of the first commercially very successful boutique pedal to offer the Klon thing, but with all the controls you might ever need or want. It does a lot more than what I'm going to use it today for. Let's wrap things up with that one. First alone, second into the Southland Overdrive. And that is going to conclude our giant, everything that we have, clone, comparison, shout out thing, video for today. We have various price ranges, various form factors, various takes, obviously on the original circuit, and a lot of these pedals adding their own thing to it, more controls, buffer, non-buffer, EQ, non-EQ. There is so much to dive into, but I think as far as standard Klon usage, this is a good sort of baseline for you guys to see, okay, what is that? What does that sound like in comparison to all the others at this point? So yeah, I hope that video was useful. Don't forget that all these pedals, as well as some potential other clones, are going to be linked in the description box down below. While you're down there, if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the future videos, and let me know in the comments if you want more of an in-depth look at some of those pedals, because we were thinking about doing a live stream maybe with Chris somewhere down the line to maybe dive in deeper about some of the different settings and functionalities that some of those clones offer. So do let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing that, and we might do it live. So definitely subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss that out. In the meantime, I wish you all a fantastic day, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye, guys.